Okay, there are some situations that don't fit with the rules of solving equations we've followed so far. And there are lots of different approaches you can use to getting an answer. I'll start with a simple one and build up. Now, if you look at this equation, you should be able to tell me what x is. 3 subtract something makes 2. That's right, that number is 1. Now, you didn't do the mathematical steps in the same way we've been previously looking at for solving equations. So let's tackle another situation similarly and try and force ourselves to have to. Hmm. 10 take away something equals 5. Well, look, 10 take away 5 makes 5, so 3x is 5. Then when I divide both sides then by 3, ten take away 5 makes 5, so this is worth 5. Okay, it hasn't worked yet. Let's take this question and do it in a different way. There are two things when solving equations that we try and get rid of, if we can. The first, we try and remove fractions from the situation. And the second one, we try and remove negative x terms. So how do I remove my negative 3x? Well, if it was plus 3x, I would subtract 3x. I would do the inverse. So I'm going to do the inverse here. It says subtract, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. That gives me 10 equals 5 plus 3x. Now, this looks far more like what we're used to. I'm going to write it larger because it's not very clear. X has been multiplied by 3 and had 5 added. So I'm going to subtract and then divide. So subtracting 5 from both sides. And then dividing by 3. Now, the only new step in this was when we have a negative x, we add that amount of x to both sides. So we cancel out the negative 3x here, and then we have to add 3x over here. Now, we don't normally create extra x's, but because we've lost the negative one and gained a positive one, that's really helpful. The question then might be, we've done it one way over here. We've done it a different way here. What if we tried to do it the original way? Okay, let's have a look. So x has been multiplied by minus 3. And it's... Well, this is hard to read now to work out what to do with this 10. Let me show you. This plus 10 could be written on the end. So it's actually add 10. Remember, we don't write the plus, just like when someone says to you, you're 16 years old, you don't say, I'm plus 16 years old. Okay. Multiply, then add. So we're going to subtract and divide. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. Five subtract 10 takes me down to minus 5. Okay, negative 3x. Now I'm dividing. So I'm dividing by minus 3. If both parts are negative, it's the same as if both are positive. And I'll show you why. Two times 4, 2 times minus 4, minus 2 times minus 4. When both parts are positive and both parts are negative, you get the same thing. Works for multiplication and division. So there we have 3 different ways of achieving the same result. My recommended method is take the negative x, add the term back on. But if you prefer looking at it, or you prefer to follow the same steps as before, that's also fine. This skill will help you a lot when it comes to part 9, solving equations with unknowns on both sides.